Let's talk about Cape Horn for a minute.
Sure.
What's been going on there? And there's some actually pretty exciting stuff happening, right?
Yeah. And, a lot of your viewers may not know what Cape Horn is. So Cape Horn is one of the more beautiful spots in the Columbia Gorge. It's about, 30 miles east of Portland on the Washington side. And I'm going to take you back a little bit. Before the National Scenic Area Act passed, one of the things that got the National Scenic Area, the whole momentum going, was the threats of these subdivisions in certain areas where there was no zoning, so there was no way to really stop it. There was a proposed 16-lot subdivision at Cape Horn, and this is up on the top of this beautiful view with these tiny little lots. And our founder went up there, saw the for sale sign, and there was no legal battle you could have. There was nothing you really could do. And so she ended up making a $300,000 loan to a group called Trust for Public Land. They bought 12 of the 16 lots, hoping the National Scenic Area Act would pass, hoping the Forest Service would eventually buy the property. Everyone took a risk and gamble, and it paid off. Wow. So the Forest Service bought that part of that subdivision. They proceeded over the years to buy about 1,000 more acres. So now you have up over 1,000 acres there. There was one house built on the subdivision, the best view, the best lot, had a 5,500 square foot house that was built with a barn, garage, etc. So in 2006, our land trust, the first purchase we made was that property. We bought that house. We tore down the house. We recycled, I think, 70% of the materials. But we removed the house because we thought it's surrounded by public land. There's already a proposed trail here. Let's make this a centerpiece, and let's make this a beautiful overlook. So we took all this down. We ended up selling it to the Forest Service. We sold it as bare land, and we bought it as a house. So we lost almost $1 million, and we had to do a fundraising campaign to make up the difference. But donors were very excited about it, so we did that. And so what's happening today is it's now Forest Service land, but our organization is paying for an overlook to be built on the property. So it's happening right now. The overlook's being built, and on August 13th, which is a day that there's going to be kind of day-long celebrations of the 25th anniversary, the overlook's going to be dedicated, and it's going to be dedicated in honor of our founder, Nancy Russell, because she was the one that saw the for sale sign, stopped the subdivision, and really started something pretty amazing.
Yeah, so, wow. I didn't realize that about, I know what house you're talking about, and I knew it came down. I didn't realize that was you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, I don't know, I mean, it was just such a leap. I don't know if we'd ever do something like that again, because it was just such a challenge. But when you had this, the Forest Service would not have moved on creating the trail and doing anything with the house sitting right in the middle of it. So we had to do that if we were going to really make something happen.
Who did the negotiating with the owners?
We did that, and we worked with another conservation group that had talked to them, but it was a crazy thing because it went on the market, and so we were competing with other buyers, and right as we were ready to buy it, then we found out that he was going into bankruptcy, and so we were afraid the whole deal would go into bankruptcy court.
No.
And it ended up working out, but it was just pins and needles for a while.
Yeah. Other stories like that? I mean, anything that sticks out as a major sort of monument in this whole process of Friends of the Columbia Gorge?
Well, there have been other examples. In the National Scenic Area, it's about protection and enhancement. And so a lot of times we think about, well, we just want to leave things the way they are. But a great example that we can't take credit for, I give credit to the Forest Service, is right across from the community of Lyle. There's a property that was always called the Star property, and you could see it from Tom McCall Point, and it had junk cars, it had gravel pits, it had buffalo and pens. I mean, it was a mess. The Forest Service bought it, cleaned it up, and now it's the Balfour Klickitat day use area. And what's interesting is I don't think anybody realized the habitat value, because now the back end of this property has the greatest concentration of bald eagles in the winter within a 100-mile radius of Portland. You know, you can go out in January or February and see 30 bald eagles in one setting. And it was an eyesore. I mean, it was a place that nobody would have given a second thought to, and they bought it partially to clean it up, but in turn it became this little natural gem. There's a lot of stories about that, like restoration of the historic highway. I mean, all sorts of things that have gone on.
Yeah. Well, before we have to go, what would you say is the biggest misperception of the Friends of the Columbia Gorge and the National Scenic Area to date?
Well, I think a lot of the press that's in the paper deals with litigation. And we definitely are involved in litigation, but one of the things is every year probably 250 applications go through for development in the gorge. I'd say in the last 5 or 6 years, less than 2% of those go to litigation. So over 98% of the applications that go through the scenic area standards process just go through.
Approved.
And I think most people assume that the rate of controversy and problems are much higher than that. And it's not true. And I think it's that you've got more landowners who understand, well, these are the rules to follow, and I'm happy to do it. You've got the county planning offices that recognize, hey, these are the rules that we have. And so I think the process is much smoother and less daunting than people think.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Really appreciate your time. And very important and fascinating subject, and we'll probably have to do another show to get a little more information, because there's obviously plenty we could talk about.
I'd love to come back.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
You guys, thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you next time right here on Localite. Remember, take care of each other. See you next time.
Do you have a guest idea? Let us know. Go to localite.com.